What it is, what it do. It's your boy Dapper back with another reaction just for you. Make sure, before we get into anything, make sure you guys are liking, subscribing, commenting. You know what I'm saying? I watch the subscriber count harder than I should. I should really just be focusing on the content. But, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys are liking the video, subscribing. And like I said, always leave a comment. Even if it has nothing to do with the video, as long as it's about the show, I really don't care. And I'm willing, and I'm going to respond. You know what I'm saying? Just leaving your thoughts on me or what I said or just show in general. You know? But let's get into it. Now, today we're getting into Power Force. Every time I do this, I mess that up. Power Force, season 2, episode 3. And this episode was basically what I would call like a reaction episode. Not that this is not a reaction itself, but this is all just things that everything that took place in this episode is a result of what happened last episode, which is obviously every episode in the show, but this is like direct reactionary things. Like we start off with, we saw at the end of last episode, Tommy gets shot at. Obviously, because he's the main character, plot armor, he doesn't die. But his car gets hit, and unfortunately, a little girl gets hit. So there's like, as bad as that is, there still remains of like, you know what I mean, something that happened which connects somebody to something which can connect back to Tommy, obviously. So we see that it opens up, and Tommy seems to be more mad about his car than anything. But he's tight, he got shot at, wants revenge, obviously. That's been Tommy's whole shtick this whole time. Like, we gotta show people, because obviously he's new in town, like, gotta show people who I am. Like, I'm not letting anything just go. I'm putting bullets in people's heads. I'm getting answers. I'm doing everything that has to be done because I'm trying to take over this whole entire city. So so he ends up, confronting Jenard. He sees Jenard because Jenard is obviously, as we saw, we'll get to Jenard in full in a couple seconds, but we see he's not doing too well, and Tommy knows he's not because he didn't even know that this dude went out and did that. You know what I'm saying? Because he didn't know he was insubordinated, basically. And that's a shame on his part. But moving further along in Tommy's storyline, we see that Tommy has been on this kick about Liliana. I personally didn't see this being a storyline coming off the hips of coming off the end of season 1. I didn't see this being a storyline. I'll be completely honest with you. I did not see him caring this much about Liliana's death. Like, I felt like it would be something like, oh, if she came across, like, who did it, cool, he'd take him out. But I didn't think it'd be like his soul, one of his top 3 things on his mind at all times. It would be like Liliana, avenging her death. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it sucks because Liliana was the last of like an OG character. This is kind of a series full of people who are new at this point. But it is what it is. I would have taken a different route, but hey. So the question is, because we see that he finds out enough that he feels in his spirit that he knows that Claudia did it in his body. He just doesn't have the physical proof. So my thing is, what will be or who will be the physical proof that he gets to see that Claudia did it? And will he do it once he finds that physical proof? Will he get a chance to do it? Because we see that the bodyguard, Claudia's bodyguard went down in death, not telling him any confirmation that he did it. So I want to know from y'all, do y'all think that there will be a person, or what will be the confirmation that he needs or that he receives that Liliana, was killed by Claudia? So we'll see. All right, Diamond. We see Diamond is just obviously he's always going to be the cool head, cool dude, cool-headed guy. I'm still sticking with I feel like there's going to be a fallout between Diamond and Tommy because, again, every time they speak, it seems to be like mild bickering. So, like, not bickering, but like disagreements as far as like how something was handled or how something should be handled. So, you know what I'm saying? I don't know when there'll be that moment where it's like, we can't get past this, but I'm waiting for it. We see Diamond, he's still laying down the pipe, you know what I'm saying? Got the CO in bed with him, literally and figuratively, you know what I'm saying? So with that being the case, he's able to get her to help them move the weight, which is helping them move weight at a very fast pace, and to the point where she's even gotten to the CO that he's messing with has even gotten him further connection, like even in the jail, because those who ran the jail now no longer run it because she's able to hold things against that person that Diamond wouldn't be able to from the outside. So now Diamond's able to have complete control of that jail. They're running basically most of their territory around there and trying to even expand. But they're gonna run into a problem. We'll get to that in a couple seconds. But sorry, we see that they're running and they want to expand. But what ends up happening is, remember, they went and set up the Serbs against Miguel, that whole battle. And Miguel, we saw, made a cruel example of two of his soldiers who didn't do anything. It was really just Tommy, and obviously Diamond helped him carry out the mission. Now, that was obviously, Diamond was able to pick up on that and say, yo, like, he's sus. Tommy doesn't think he's sus, which is, where Diamond and Tommy complement each other, because Diamond's willing to look into things deeper than Tommy usually is. And we see that come to fruition later on towards the end of the episode, when Miguel's like, he doesn't want to do any re-up with them because he's finding they're moving suspicious, as I would too, because how are you moving all this product so fast? And it's just it makes the light bulb go off in your head like, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here? So that's something to look out for, is that Miguel is sus about CBI's movement, because they split in half, less soldiers, they should be moving way less weight. There should be issues, but there's not. They're moving even better. And it can't just be because of Tommy. So that's something to be on the lookout for. Jenard. From the top of the season, we knew that Jenard's arc was just going to go down, just a decline, because Jenard is in a spot where there's not much he can do. Like, he's in self-destruct mode. And this is all simply because of ego. It's literally nothing more than ego, because all he has to do to go to his brother loves him so much. His brother will really literally accept him if he goes to him and say, yo, bro, sorry, I effed up. Can we get back together on this? Like, we just need to get back. I'm not doing well. You know what I'm saying? I can use your help. Because obviously, like I said, when we were talking about Tommy, he didn't know anything about Little K getting back until, like, he didn't authorize that. And he said no, and it happened, which means he's getting undermined, insubordination, you know what I'm saying? So he then goes to try and do the right thing in his eyes, because it's like, hey, I gotta kill him, I gotta make a stand. But then his girl Shanti's like, yo, like, you kill him, it's gonna look bad, because then it looks like you're letting Tommy run things. But then if you don't kill him, it looks bad, because now it looks like you a bit, like, you know what I'm saying? You sweet, you soft, you know what I'm saying? So it's like he kind of struck with that fine line, but he chooses to, like, go on his word, like, yo, I just can't be, you know what I'm saying? I can't just be some soft dude. So he goes, finds Lil K, but gets interrupted the first time by the grandma. And then second time, the Serbs come in to cash their debt on him, so they take his car. He ends up having to call Lil K, and because of that, him and Lil K get into it, and, you know what I'm saying, that ends in Lil K's death by strangulation. But what we discovered in that is that Jenard is not only going off the deep end because he owes people territory, money, and things of that nature. He's getting into the drugs. He's diving. Once you start hitting off your own supply, it's bad. And then what it went from coke, he said, let me get that heroin. Heroin is absolutely insane. Heroin in 2023 is absolutely insane, and that's no static to anybody who's dealing with that or has dealt with that. It's just, as from where Jenard was to where he is currently, is an epic decline. So my question to y'all is, how much further do y'all think this dive falls? Like, is it like a swift, smooth dot? Does he get saved by his brother, or does he just keep falling and falling until he can't fall anymore? You know what I'm saying? But rock bottom type stuff. So y'all let me know in the comments what y'all think about that one. Now, on a lighter note, we see where there's some dialogue with JP today, because JP has to come there's a couple characters, being JP, D-Mac, Kate, that have to come to the reckoning of, their past. I'm not really going to expound too much on Kate, but with JP specifically, because he's more of a main character in it so far, is that he abandoned D-Mac at a young age. Now, with D-Mac, obviously he wants those answers, and JP, he knows he deserves them. And, we know JP is gay, and because JP is gay, You know what I'm saying? His old work, his D-Mac's mom basically was like, he's gonna be better off without you. Like, what was he gonna do with a gay father, essentially? And he bit into that, and basically that's why, he ends up leaving D-Mac, and we find those answers out now. And he just asks for forgiveness from D-Mac because, he knows it wasn't right, and it wasn't. They're both in Chicago. D-Mac is 16, and it took all these years for D-Mac to run into him, and rather JP run into D-Mac, which is not really how a father-son relationship go, even if it was from an estranged, beginnings. So yeah, I don't really have a question as far as what's going on with JP going forward, but I'm saying, let me know if y'all have anything about JP's character arc that y'all think is up and coming or being foreshadowed. One person that does have a lot of foreshadowing coming their way is D-Mac, because we see D-Mac badly wants to be a part of the streets, a part of this operation. We already spoke about the arc with his father and that forgiveness arc, but what we didn't speak of was Tommy had gave JP a gun for protection because Tommy was shot at, and with him being shot at, it led to obviously the gun, and the JP hid the gun in the house and right in front of D-Mac, and D-Mac stole the gun. And we saw in the previews for the next episode that D-Mac is going to end up on the streets somehow, some way, because he's tired of being up in the house doing nothing, even though, what I'm saying, he getting money kind of for doing nothing. But hey, sometimes that's the thing that's why it's like kind of realistic, because the thing about these streets, especially in a place like Chicago and things of that nature, is like but yeah, so we see that, D-Mac is determined to be back in the streets, and we'll see what comes from that. I mean, D-Mac seems to be on a mission, man. I don't like it for him, but this is what kids do. All right, another person that's in deep water, Claudia Flynn. Her entrance into this episode, she walks in to find that her stuff has been stolen from her. But that's because she's been messing with her father, because she was mad she got axed out of the plan to move those drugs. So, with that being the case, she was messing with her dad's dialysis accounts. He didn't like that, so he made his move. And why would you move against the guy who's funding your lifestyle? That's the thing I never understood. I'm team don't bite the hand that feeds you. But she was biting the hand that fed her and got hit. You know what I'm saying? And, the bigger story here is not just the fact that she's in bad water with her father, is that she gets confronted by Tommy. Tommy confronts her, and basically he's like, yo, I know you did it. I don't have proof you did it, but I know you do it. And he even attempts to pull the gun on her. It's just that Tommy's surrounded, and obviously if he kill her, he's gonna die pretty much immediately. So with that being the case, he just says, look, I'm gonna find some proof, and when I find some proof, it's up for you. And with that being the case, I want to ask you a question. Again, just like with the Tommy, when I asked earlier, what we think will be the thing that solidifies that Tommy finds out that she did it? It's going to be something that I think I'm overlooking, or we're overlooking, or somebody. But, somebody's going to give up the goods that she did it. And I want to see, because I really want to see that chase down of Tommy on Claudia. Another brother, he's had his own plan. He seems to have bounced back from his spiral, glorious filled spiral, and is now, thinking a little more clearly. Even though last time he wasn't not thinking clearly, he just was a sad sap. But with this being the case, he's working with his dad like he said he would, and he comes into the information that, hey, we're trying to sell bad product. Wow, we're selling bad product. I didn't know that. But he does his due diligence, and in order to stop that, when they start the operation to sell those said drugs, he calls the police on the corner boy that was selling drugs, and it stops the whole operation. I think all the drugs get seized, which is good for the community, because clearly the guy that his dad's working with is a bare racist, but it is what it is. That's how the world works, especially in these circles. And he stops that whole plan. And then on top of that, not only does he stop the plan, he kills homeboy who owed them the money for the drugs, because Walter was going to try and use that leverage to get some money out of them, and he kills him. So now he stopped that. Remember, Vic's plan is to kill his father's empire from the inside. So this is where it all starts. So my thing is, do we think this is a clever move by Vic, or do we think that Walter's going to catch on to him, kind of sabotaging his own family's business? Let me know. Walter is just, he's mad. He's upset. He's not happy with way things are going. He owes money. He's not a guy that really is used to owing. You know what I'm saying? And he thought he brokered a good deal. The deal fell through because of his own son. Because of his own son. And with that being the case, he's extra mad because he chose to bring in his son over his daughter, and this is what he's coming from it. So I'm wondering how long it's going to take for him to realize he picked up more baggage than he did an asset. You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? You guys comment, like, do you think he'll find out, or when do you think he'll find out, or how do you think he'll find out that Vic is playing him from the inside? And what is he going to do about it? Because it's his son. You know what I'm saying? He said he would never sell another Flint out. That's why he hasn't sold out Claudia about the whole her killing Liliana thing. But times are getting hard, money is old, and situations are getting dicey. And last but not least, like I said, I'm using her Stacy as the way to talk about anything federal. But they've got okayed this task force. You know what I'm saying? This super DEA, FBI, CPD, it's like 8 different branches of law enforcement involved in this. Which is the most I've ever seen in a super task force. But it, you know what I'm saying? And on top of that, her team has put together basically the storyline. Obviously don't have proof, but there's all, you know what I'm saying, assumption and, you know, guesses based off certain facts. But they're putting together that, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, Tommy is the one that shot Chewie, who they were looking for, you know, that person. So, and they're using that to lead as why the girl got killed, because it was a hit back and so on and so forth. So things are coming together on their side. I'm just waiting for them to see what they're going to execute and what they're going to find and who they're going to find. And you know what I'm saying, because they're going to try and get somebody to talk. They see the detective try to get Lil K to, you know, strike a deal. He wasn't with it, and it also ended up in Lil K dying. So, you know what I'm saying, it's tough. And other things to note on, you know, law enforcement, the PO is sus of Diamond's operations. Diamond got saved by old boy that worked in the shop because it looked, you know, the PO was definitely sus of what was going on, but it was saved by the bell. You know what I'm saying? So he is going to come into play. Like, there's a lot of factors outside, like I said, of what's going on that's outside of just the drugs in the empire that's going on that's going to affect them, because there's already war within each other. So that hasn't even added up to like what's going on with law enforcement coming down on them. On top of that, the plug is not in a good side. So it's like, it's a lot going on, man. Give me OG power vibes, and I'm loving it, bro. I'm loving it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I didn't feel this the first season, but this season I'm feeling it. They're really, really rolling deep and hard. It's so many different storylines, but they all make sense and they're all good. So, you know what I'm saying? Leave y'all comments. I want to know what y'all feeling and thinking about this, because I'm hooked on this season. I'm not going to lie. But with that being said, make sure you like, subscribe, comment below. Like I said, I asked some questions, answer my questions. And with that being the case, we're out of here. Big dripper stand up in the ocean. Everybody trapping, we get lost. He ain't